bastards.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. Man, oh, man. What a great week of football we saw, man. What a great Monday Night Football game we saw. Literally going overtime, man. Oh, man. But before we start this great show, make sure you like and share this video, subscribe as well. And to all our friends and family, hope you guys are doing well out there. But before we start this great show, let me introduce you guys to my colleague. We got today the little brother, the baby brother, little John Paul. How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm not so little, but I'm doing okay.
Okay, and then we got my buddy over there who decided to wear the same hat like last week. Come on, buddy, we New Yorkers, not LA. How you doing, Mr. David?
Well, the Yankees pissed me off so much. I wanted to wear the Yankees hat tonight, but because they pissed me off so bad last week, I'm wearing the Dodgers hat.
You think they pissed you off? Imagine me. I work with all Philly fans, and my Philly coworkers watching this. They had my desk pictures of Dodgers for my first time.
The Philly fans are.
And Philly also lost in the round,
Yeah,
the first round of the playoffs, basically.
Yeah, and I said
to the Mets.
Yeah, they lost to the Mets, and then you know the funny thing is, I came back from lunch. They had another set of pictures everywhere. I'm like, you guys lost to us. You guys got swept. I don't know how you guys talk crap, but hey, what can you do, man? Haters gonna hate. All right, man. Let's start with this first game, man. Thursday night football, man. Our buddy John Paul, you gotta lead this one off, man. The Houston Texans versus the Jets. The Jets somehow pulled the victory out of there. I told you guys the Jets were gonna win. I had confidence in the Jets. Tony, John Paul, what do you think about the Jets, man, buddy?
I thought about the Jets the same way I thought about them last week. I mean, they have one more win. All this tells me is that Houston's not as good as the team as we thought they were. I was about to say Dallas. The Jets defense stepped it up. I'll give them that. They didn't play a great game. First half was horrendous by our offense. The Jets offense was garbage the entire first half.
Okay.
Second half, they came out and they came to play. I mean, there's really nothing more I could say. I guess I'm a little happy they won, but at the end of the day, it's still the same old Jets to me. So,
okay, David, what do you think, buddy?
I mean, John Paul hit most of the points. I mean, the only thing that looked good was I think finally Rodgers felt a little more comfortable with Devontae and Garrett Wilson this week. Their defense looked very good. Stroud really couldn't do anything, to be honest with you. That's.
I mean, he got no receivers now. He's down two of the biggest stars are down right now.
You still got Tank Dell. He had a big game.
But defenses know what they're gonna do. They're gonna double team that one guy that's left, and they're gonna the other guy the second string, third string. So,
well, that's why NFL is the next man up. Just tired of everybody saying stuff like that. Like, you're in the NFL, you're good enough to play in the NFL, you're good to make millions.
well, they also had time before that game. I mean,
it's not like he just got hurt.
Granted, free agency just closed today. The trade block.
Not free agency. The trade closed today. Not free agency.
I messed up. Shut your hole. Let me finish. All right. So the trade deadline finished today. They could have picked anybody up they wanted to. They picked up nobody. Even today, they picked up nobody. When we get to the Commanders game, we'll talk a little bit more because they made a huge deal today.
Yeah, if a lot of them were, right?
Yeah, big time deal.
Do you mind? Did you not hear what he said? We're gonna get there. Do you ever read the script ever? Man. But I definitely think, man.
Never send out a script.
I mean, definitely.
You act like the movies. You act like we're on a movie set. It's a fucking podcast.
Guys, like I said, we're gonna get there. All right, but I definitely think this was a much needed win by the Jets. I definitely knew the Texans were gonna have to win this game when you're down two of your star wide receivers. Texans, yeah, the Ravens not that hard, but you definitely got to pick up some wide receivers if you're going to have a fight in the AFC because you still got Jarvis. I know what happened to Jarvis Landry. He's still a free agent, and Mr. Mike Thomas. I'm going to lead to the conversation next.
He hasn't played in like 2-3 years.
Still, something is better than nothing. But let's go. I know we haven't talked about these two teams much because they haven't done much at all. Saints and Panthers. Panthers somehow pulled the upset. 1 point win victory. Win is a win. Saints lost 7 in a row. Dennis Allen got fired. Marshall Lattimore got traded. This was the second time that Dennis Allen got fired while having Derek Carr as his quarterback. Cam Jordan was so embarrassed he didn't want to go back in the locker room. What's next for this team, man? What can they do? And they're gonna be projected $60 million over their salary cap. So what is next for the Saints, man? David, you're nodding. I'm gonna go with you first, buddy.
2 words, they stink. I thought their defense was supposed to be the strong point. It's definitely not. And everybody said the first 2 games, oh, the Saints are for real. Yeah, they're real. They're for real. They're for real bad. Uh, I just don't think that they're that good, to be honest with you. Now with Olave hurt, they really don't have much. I mean, besides
They got sandwich, dude.
yeah,
And also I do have another question to ask you. Do you think it was Derek Carr's fault that Olave got hurt, that whole injury? Because
No,
that was also
that seemed like a target to me.
yeah, that should have been that was a flag.
okay.
They did get for it, but I just was it a great pass? No, but at the same time, it was so over his head that like I honestly don't even know why he even went for it. To be completely honest with you, it's on both players. To be honest with you, I mean, you should have enough common sense. You're coming over the middle, you're going to get smacked, and at the same time, if you're Derek Carr, you know your player's going to get smacked because that safety's coming up, and I think they were playing cover two, and they're going to come up and smack you. So like I said, I don't even want to talk about the Saints because honestly, I just feel like every year we talk about the Saints are going to be good, and they never are. Flat out, they have talent, but they never do anything with it.
They did piss me off this week though, because they were winning that game by like 10 points, and they let Carolina just walk right through. You know what I mean? You can't have that at all.
And because Hubbard scored that touchdown, I won in fantasy. So thank you, Saints. Also,
Hmm.
Okay. All right, now let's go to the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants, man. Another close game, man. The Giants, I don't know what they're doing, man. They were literally right there. But they got another close victory, man. Commanders came to the New York and got the W1. They just did a massive trade today. They got Marshawn Lattimore on their team. Are the Commanders just here? Are we Commanders for real now? David, you're not even gonna go defense again.
no, let John. I just went first. John Paul can go first.
I definitely gonna go first, buddy.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I like the Commanders. I do. I think they're a sleeper team, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. Do I think that they're a team? I mean, I think they're a couple pieces away still. I mean, to go like deep, but then again, you never know. I mean, football's it's an any given Sunday deal. You know what I mean? So anybody can win on any given Sunday. This game was actually a very interesting game. I actually enjoyed watching this game. Basically for the fact that it was kind of back and forth a little bit. Washington kind of took the lead in the third quarter and they kind of didn't look back. So I'm going to use one of my brother's words. That last touchdown that the Giants had, a lot of people will disagree with me. That was a garbage touchdown. And the only reason I call it a garbage touchdown, granted, they were only down by 7 before the game was over. I think they lost by 5, something like that.
Yeah, 5.
But the game was basically over. There was like a minute and a half left. The Giants had one timeout left. They just had to stop Washington. And I'm not going to lie, man, the Giants' run defense isn't as good as their actual defensive line seems to be because their defensive line is nasty. The guy sacks. I think they still lead the league in sacks, which is great. But, I mean, for some reason, they could sack the quarterback. You just can't stop the run.
Okay. David, what do you think, whole thing, buddy, and what do you think about the Commanders?
That game made me throw up. Why did Dayball go for 2 is my question. It didn't make sense too much. I believe a little bit more in the Commanders after last week, but they played the Giants. I'm not really sold on that. I mean, against good competition, they don't win. So I want to see them versus playoff contenders. I mean, now Dallas is out. So now it's just going to be the Eagles that can contend for them, to be completely honest. I mean, the NFC East is all theirs. Giants aren't going anywhere. Giants are going to want a good draft pick now. Dallas is going to want a good draft pick now because Dak's going to be out for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, I think they said he's landing on the IR.
Yeah. What's wrong with you? Why making that face for? What's wrong with you?
We gotta get there. Why you gotta steal my thunder every time?
You jackass.
You a jackass.
And then,
But
but Lattimore definitely helps. I mean, I don't know if he's as good as he was like 3, 4, 5 years ago, but I mean, listen, when you add a Pro Bowler, you're gonna get better. But they still need another wide receiver. I'm surprised they didn't pull the trigger. Instead, the Steelers end up getting a trading for a wide receiver. I know we'll get there, but I'm
I hate this guy. I really do.
I'm just telling
But
you.
I definitely gotta agree. I didn't expect the Commanders to come out this year like the way they did. Commanders were always that team like, they're gonna be maybe above 500, maybe below. But man, they gotta really change the culture ever since they sold the franchise, got new
But
owners.
my question is this: if you're the Bears, did you feel like you made a mistake not taking Daniels with your first pick?
100% right now.
I don't. The Bears' offensive line,
you can't say that, man. I think Caleb Williams is. I mean, he's still got to prove himself. That I think Caleb Williams shows very good signs of being a very good quarterback. So I don't think.
But where was he on Sunday though? He was nowhere to be
Did you
found.
watch the game with the Bears? His wide receivers walked off the field mid play.
Yeah. That's another thing. DJ Moore, what the hell are you doing? As a coach, that shows that coach has no control of the team.
Dude,
what are you guys doing?
You hit it the nail on the head. They were saying on ESPN he has lost the locker room because it all started from a couple weeks ago, and then they benched Stevenson, and then all the players were pissed off. They benched Stevenson. Now everybody has just lost it. Now they have no respect. They should just fire him now.
100%. Like last week, you got a guy echoing at the fans. This week, you got your guy walking up the field. And moment the wide receiver, anybody goes out of bounds, they're eligible. They can't. They can't come back in the game to catch the ball. So that's beyond insane. The bull crap. Like, come on, man, get control of the team. Come on, bro. It's insane. But all right, guys, let's go to the next game, man. Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Man, oh man, Buffalo really played a close one. Miami. Really feel bad for you guys. I really want Miami to win. You guys still think Miami has any chance of even getting the playoff spot now? So they say that right now at 2-6.
I think they can definitely still make it. They shouldn't be 2-7. Tua was out. Without Tua, they lost like literally. I think it was like 3 or 4 games. They're definitely still in it. They played well. I mean, I thought it was gonna be a close game. I knew the Bills would win, but I thought it would be a close game. It's not like that game surprised me. It was back and forth. It didn't surprise me at all. The Bills just made one extra stop than the Dolphins did, and that's why the game ended the way it did. Okay. Simple.
Drop what is it, buddy?
Honestly, see, Buffalo should have probably lost this game. And I know, again, I chose them this week also. They probably should have lost this game. Miami did play very, very well. But, I mean, again, this is coming. Tua's got to get back into the rhythm. I think that's what this is coming up to be.
He played better this week than he did last week.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. So I think he's trying to get back into the rhythm. Once he gets back into that rhythm, I think you're going to start seeing Tyreek Hill go bananas. Jalen Waddle's going to go nuts too. I mean, it takes time, dude. He just came back from a concussion. He was on the IR for what, 6 weeks? I mean, you can't blame him for it. But at the end of the day, I mean, they're 2-6. Can they make a run? Absolutely. The only reason they can make a run because the AFC is wide open. There's only 3 teams that are actually decent in the NFC. I mean, the AFC, and that's Kansas City, who's undefeated because of the refs.
Ravens.
You have the Ravens that are really good, and Buffalo that's really good. Other than that, I mean, you look at it. Some of the other teams are all beatable, so you can absolutely make a debate that Miami can absolutely get there. I mean, there's still a lot of football left. I mean, we're looking at week 10 this week. All right. But you figure we got another 8 weeks left.
My sleeper team is still in it. I think the Bengals are still going to start making more noise.
I have a feeling the Bengals will too.
Next week, though, I'll tell you that much.
I mean, they destroyed the Raiders, but the Raiders are not that good.
The score was worse than how they did. I literally watched. My parents have the NFL ticket. That's why I go there. Literally, Burrow looked good, but their defense, man, I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't make a trade for somebody on their defense, man, because for as they let Gardner Minshew do a lot of stuff to them, and I was literally surprised that they would let the Raiders do what they did. To be honest with you, that score was a lot closer than what it should have been.
What do you think about the What do you think about the Raiders though? You like they just fired all their off. My thing is, why would the Raiders head coach bring in the Bears offensive coordinator and try to think he's going to run offense and like on top of that, you didn't draft a quarterback. Well, what are you doing? You really think
They already said they're going to draft one this year, and if I was the Raiders, to be completely honest, I would have traded Max Crosby to get draft picks because the Raiders aren't going to be good for another probably like 2-3 years. And that's just my opinion. I would have traded Crosby, get as many draft picks as I can for him. You already got traded Devontae Adams, trade one more of their good players, which the only other good player on that team is Brock Bowers.
Yeah, he just picked him up though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're young. That's what I mean. Like, dude, you're not going to be good for another 2-3 years. Trade Max Crosby. Max Crosby deserves a ring or at least be in the playoffs. He deserves it. He plays hard every play. He's number one every year in the NFL in the most defensive plays, tackles for losses, and sacks. Let him go somewhere. And the team like the Lions, they probably would have traded 2 draft picks for him. They're stupid. The Raiders should have definitely traded him to a contender.
okay?
Just they traded Myles Garrett.
I got a question now to ask you guys. As you guys know, there's somebody else that owns the Raiders now this year, Mr. Tom Brady. Rumor has it, this could be just all people talking, that Tom Brady wants to bring in Bill Belichick as the head coach.
He said it like 3 weeks ago.
Do you think that would be do you think that could possibly happen?
I don't. The only reason I don't see it happening, not to cut you off, David, is I think Bill wants to go somewhere that is somewhat established. Or
a place he used to coach at.
Yes. And I think if he's going to go anywhere,
East Coast.
I said this, he's either going to go to the Giants, which I think that's a very strong point. All right, because he does like going to New York. He started his career.
Both families in New York.
You know what I mean? But I could also see him, and a lot of people tell me no. Dude, I could also see him going to Dallas. And
Thank you. You slid right into the point. Dallas Cowboys lost another one. Mike McCarthy was calling horrible plays. CeeDee Lamb is out now. Even Dak Prescott was caught saying on live television, "We suck." Do you think Mike McCarthy? Do you think this would be a good fit for Belichick to get in there? You want Bill Belichick to be head coach? Nope. I feel like it'd be a power struggle because you got an owner that wants to be the GM and the owner, and then you got to have a coach who wants to be the GM as well.
No, I think that's the opposite because Belichick doesn't want to talk and Jerry Jones wants to talk. So I think in terms of that would be fine. Belichick is a defensive coach. He's not an offensive coach. I think they need somebody because obviously McCarthy calling offensive plays, they're not scoring points. They need somebody that's an offensive guru, hire a big-time defensive coordinator that could run it so they could just focus on defense so the head coach won't have to concentrate on the defense. Because honestly, that offense, they look horrendous. They look terrible. Atlanta is okay defensive-wise. They couldn't do anything. They're turning the ball over. Some of the play call, they called that jet sweep on 4th down. Like, why would you call a jet sweep on 4th down? Run the ball. Quarterback sneak it. Dak's a big guy, man. Push forward. Do the tush push as the Eagles do or whatever. I just don't see Belichick going there. And honestly, if I was Belichick, I would just stay far away because that fan base is just as bad as it is in New York. Like in terms of like the press and stuff like that. I wouldn't want
it.
I agree. I do agree. I don't think he will go to Dallas. But then again, you know what? He might not want to go to the Giants either. I don't know offhand. I think the Giants would probably be the fit for him where he wants to go. But then
the Giants are too much rebuilding.
Does he still want to coach again? Well, Dallas isn't going to be in a rebuild. I don't think it's going to rebuild.
You want to know a team that he can go to real quick? Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay doesn't here, Bulls might be gone. Belichick will go right in there. They're ready to win. They got two really good receivers. They're good on offense, so he's not going to have to do much. It's actually their defense that needs improvement. Why can't
I'm gonna tell you now, I think off season, I mean, I know we're a long way from the off season, but I think we're gonna see a lot of new faces as head coaches this year. I mean, a lot of new faces.
But I don't think that would be smart for the team. Why would Tampa get rid of that ball?
I could see Rex Ryan coming
Oh,
back.
hell no. Don't bring that back, please.
Yeah, they said that.
I could see him. Listen, you know what? You might knock him. And Rex Ryan's got a big mouth. But I'll tell you one thing: the Jets played for Rex Ryan.
Yep.
Rex Ryan they played for him. You know why? Because he didn't bitch up. You did something wrong, you sat. He would make you sit. He'd sit there and go, "Yo, you missed that block. Go take a seat." If the next guy could do it better, you're going to keep that seat.
Oh, buddy, he coached two teams and they went completely nowhere.
Hold on. That's where you're wrong.
Where did the Jets go? Where did the Buffalo Bills go?
The Jets went to 2 straight AFC championship games. Umir, come on, dude.
But after that, he went nowhere. It went down the toilet. That's why the Jets got rid of him.
The Jets did not go down the toilet. The Jets had injuries, bro, and they got rid of a lot of people.
They also make the every year.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it, bro. They lost Thomas Jones, who was probably in those 2 years was probably one of the best running backs in the league. All right, they lost half of their offensive line to injuries. You understand what I'm getting at? So, I mean, I can't blame him. I liked Rex. I would even take Herm Edwards back. I love Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards was my boy. I loved Herm Edwards.
I would not.
But it's not just the Jets. Well, obviously the Jets are going to be looking for a coach. It's not going to be Belichick. Belichick's not going to go to the Jets, and if he does, I'd be fucking shocked. But I don't think that's going to happen. Just because I do think Aaron Rodgers will be back, no matter what the record is this year. He will be back one more year.
100%.
And I don't think he wants a coach like Bill Belichick telling him what to do. I'm going to be honest.
That's true. All right, let's go to another team whose coach is supposedly every week their fans are telling fire him. And this man's team is 6-2 right now. Nick Sirianni. Philadelphia Eagles, Jacksonville Jaguars, man, they played a close battle. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know where you throw it to, buddy. But you guys did put up a good fight, man. What do you think about the Eagles, man? The Eagles almost left this game away.
The Eagles just lost another wide receiver for the second time. Next week, they're not going to do as well as you think.
Wait,
please don't say that. AJ Brown. He's on my fantasy team right now. My fantasy team is on crutches right now. Please don't say that. I got playoffs.
That's what happens when you draft scrubs. So the Eagles. Honestly, that game, that's another game that was way too close for comfort. The Eagles should have never let that game get that close. All right, I think they were up at one point. What was it, 22-0?
Yeah.
And you let them come back, and you want to sit there and think that you're going to – I don't even think they're going to beat the Commanders.
No shot.
I don't.
You think they're going to beat
them at all?
You think they're going to beat the Commanders? They barely beat the Jaguars, bro.
Name one good team the Commanders beat this year.
They got a good one coming up this weekend. They got a big matchup coming up this weekend. Is both ways. But I really, Eagles, I don't know what you're doing, man. Come on. And please, AJ Brown, if you're watching the show, feel better.
Let me just say something. Sirianni, what the F do you go for 2 points so much for? It baffles my mind how he goes for 2 points. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, are you trying to like stick it to Peterson since he won a Super Bowl at Philly? Is that why you're trying to do it? Like, it's kind of like that brother that's like a bully to you, and all of a sudden you're big enough to bully him back. That's what I feel like it is right now.
And I got to agree with you because I didn't think Philly's kicker was that bad, right? I thought he was good.
He is good.
He is good.
I'm like, am I missing something here that they keep going for? Like, it made no sense. And then the announcers, of course, like, he's playing the odds here. No, there's no odds, you jackass. Like, you're going for 2 right away. Like, if you're the Giants and with the whole kicker thing, I would get why you would go for it too. You actually have a decent field goal kicker. Like it just baffles my mind.
That's why that game was also close because all the stupid 2-pointers. And also, the Jaguars did something that no other team could do is block that stupid touch push.
They what?
They couldn't do the touch push properly. Like it was touch push stop.
A lot of teams have stopped that tush push.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they've stopped it. I mean they haven't stopped it a lot, but they've stopped it a couple times. I mean, listen, dude, that tush push is going to wind up being illegal and soon enough anyway because they're going to wind up breaking somebody's neck doing it. All right, and honestly, I'm not a fan of his, but I mean, you got to hope for that's not going to happen to Jalen Hurts because I mean that's really going to hurt, I guess, for Hurts.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it's like, first of all, let me just say this: Saquon, you are athletic as shit, man.
That backwards jump, that was nuts. It was
good. You guys really let him walk away. You guys suck at the franchise.
Like, dude, like, don't. I sometimes his athleticism just makes me just like say like, why do we get rid of him? Like, I just don't understand.
But hold on, David. Hold your thought right there. Umir, you know what? You're a hypocrite and son of a bitch. You know why? Because every year that he played on the Giants, oh, he's always hurt, bro. Why you got to play him for? He's always hurt, bro. That's one of the reasons the Giants got rid of him. Granted, do I think that they should have paid?
I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that, jackass.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I think they should have paid Daniel Jones and not him? No. I think it should have been the other way around. Yep. You pay your workhorse. You don't pay the guy that's not really doing much for you. Granted, he brought you to one playoff game. You won it. Great. Nice. Okay, but then you guys got spanked and back to reality on the second playoff.
Oh, by the way, this is a good stat because one of my friends is a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. Dak Prescott has been in the NFL since 2016. He's been to 7 playoff games, has 2 wins. Daniel Jones came to the NFL in 2019, been to the playoffs twice, 1 win.
Look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's 2-7.
What?
Lamar Jackson's 2-4.
I'm making a comparison here between Jones and Prescott because Cowboy fans now they hate, but before it was all about like, oh yeah, we like it's one thing to get to the playoffs, it's another win. I'd rather not make the playoffs than lose in the first round every year.
That's true. But let's see, man. Eagles, you guys better fix that coaching decisions you guys are doing. That's another spot hot seat, even though they're 6-2. I don't know why that's so hot. Now let's go. This team is very close to my heart. I almost wanted to break the TV in Buffalo Wild Wings. Geno Smith, what are you doing, bro? What are you throwing to? Where are you throwing the ball? Go down there, throw a pick 6. Go back there, down again, throw another pick. Bro, like, what are you doing, bro? And then
I called it.
In overtime, 4th and 1. You guys can't get a 4th yard? You guys can't get a fourth down to 1 yard? 1 yard? I can get 1 yard. You know the misery I had to go through in Buffalo Wild Wings? I want to break the TVs in there.
Why'd you go to Wild Wings to watch the game?
Because I was out with my friends.
Oh, yeah, you're in Delaware. There's nothing else to do.
Yes, buddy. Look at my world. Like, what are y'all doing? What? I don't understand, man. The Seahawks, man, we really got to do something about the quarterback. He's definitely not the talent, please get rid of him. And you guys should have traded DK. Pittsburgh said they're going to get some picks. But we need a quarterback, man. Because Geno Smith sucks. He sucks more than Daniel Jones does.
DK's going to the Steelers next year, I heard, or the Patriots. That's what I heard. Those are the 2 teams.
I mean, he was rumored to go to the Steelers right now, because guess who's with the Steelers right now? His buddy.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Okay, Devontae Adams who did that worked out. But what do you think about the Seahawks, man? What can they do possibly to fix anything now?
Geno Smith stinks. That's just flat out what it is. There's literally nothing to talk about this game, but Geno Smith is terrible. I think he's the most – I said this year after year. He's the most overrated quarterback. He'll have 2 good games. He's like Derek Carr, like literally. They have 2 or 3 good games. Everybody's like trying to ride him. Then all of a sudden he starts playing bad. Then like, all right, there's 1 game. Then bad again. Then bad. Like his decision making, I just don't get it. I just don't.
Now you wonder why he's no longer a Jet, no longer a Giant, no longer any of the other shit. And you were fucking praising him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'll take that back.
Or
He sucks. All right, now let's go. Where are we gonna go next? Where do I feel like to go next? Let's go to the Green Bay, man. Yeah, what a game. Lions came in and shut it down. 24-14. The starting quarterback got kicked out of the game for a play he shouldn't have got kicked out. Definitely deserved the flag, but definitely didn't got kicked out of the game. That didn't stop him. Lions came and shut it down, got the job done. Are Lions pretenders or contenders?
they're 100% contenders, man. That's probably going to be the team that's going to win the
You're
NFL.
muted, David Hoffman. You're muted, buddy. Jackass. Okay. What do you say, buddy? Can we hear you now? Can you hear us?
Dude, I'm not on mute, you jackass. I've been like this. Go ahead. You go first. Let this idiot wait now.
I think they are absolutely contenders, man. They're coming to play. The coaching is very good.
They want to play for him. That's why
they do. That's what it is. They want to play for him. Their quarterback's playing decent. Their running backs, both of them are great. They have great wide receivers. Their defense is playing good. I mean, they're all around. I think honestly, like if we start talking Super Bowl in a couple weeks, depending, that's probably the only team in my mind that could probably give Kansas City a run for their money. And I think they could bank. I think they could knock them out. I'm gonna be honest with you.
the Lions will beat the Chiefs, no doubt about it.
Not that the refs have something to say about it.
Yeah, well, if the refs are wearing white and red, it just happens. So
Yeah, I agree with everything John Paul said. You have a coach you want to win for. You have a quarterback who's playing MVP style. You have two great running backs. You have good wide receivers. You just upgraded in today for a trade your pass rush. That's the only thing that you guys don't have right now, and you just traded for a pass rusher. So I think they're definitely a contender, and I also think the NFC Central is probably the best division in football because all those teams are all good. That's just front to back. They're the best. It's the best conference. I just feel like they're up on each other, so I'm just worried about the Lions getting hurt. Other than that, I'm with John Paul. I can't see them not going to the Super Bowl because the NFC this year is not that strong.
Okay.
It's going to be
what happened.
versus. I'm telling you, it's going to be the 49ers versus the Lions again, but this time it's going to probably be in Detroit.
Let's see what happens. Now let's go to Sunday Night Football, man. Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts, man. I haven't seen that many missed field goals in a long time. Back-to-back missed field goals for both sides. Flacco starts the game. They did beat okay. Vikings got the win. What do you guys think about that game, man?
I would rather take a dump outside than watch that game. Literally. That was the worst game. Literally. Flacco literally looked like Richardson from last week. Literally. I'm not even kidding you. They both looked exactly the same. And I don't know if you guys heard, the Giants were actually interested in trading for Richardson, and I don't understand why. I don't know if you guys heard that rumor. But the Vikings are decent. I think they're a contender too. You just don't know with Sam Darnold, to be completely honest with you. You have good receivers. I think they're a sleeper this year, even though they're not really a sleeper team.
Okay. What do you think about that game, Mr. John Paul? Because you know you love Sam Darnold. New York Jets.
I mean, I think Minnesota's good, man. I think but you know what it is with Minnesota? I think they can make the playoffs, and I think maybe depending on who they play, they can get a couple games in there in the playoffs.
What about Matt?
I still think they're one or two decent defensive pieces away. Their defense isn't horrible, but it keeps people in the game. That's the only problem. Their defense lets up a lot of running. We saw that even against the Jets. I didn't think the Jets were going to run the ball like they did against Minnesota, and they did. And their cornerbacks are sketchy. They're definitely suspects. So, I mean, other than that, I think Minnesota can make great. I mean, they can make a great deal. especially with, I mean, again, they have great wide receivers. You know what I mean? So me personally, I think Sam Darnold found a good spot, but he's going to want to be in trade bait heavy next year, especially if he makes it to the playoffs. Whew.
Yep. This is the first year that the NFC, I really have no idea other than the Lions who could possibly win. It's all about matchups because if Minnesota, if they're not going to win the division, obviously the Lions are. I think they could beat the Commanders, the Vikings, and I think that they could beat the Falcons.
I don't think the Falcons are as good as advertised.
But they're going to win that division because of injuries for the Bucs.
Yeah. Thank you. Now you lead me to my next point. I just want to love you, buddy. Buccaneer, man. Tampa Bay Bucs, Kansas City Chiefs. What a rainy game it was. I just got to say, Patrick Mahomes, God bless you, buddy. I was down 24 points in my fantasy league. You saved me from losing, man. God bless, especially at Tampa Bay Bucs. Thank you for not trying to go for 2, man. God bless you as well. But, yeah, Kansas City Chiefs got the job done in overtime. The offensive lineman was jumping on that play, but nobody called the false start.
That's 100%.
Do you guys think Tampa Bay should have went for 2 instead of
I
for the
do.
field goal?
The only reason I say I think they should have went for 2 is because if you look at the games within the past 17 games that Kansas City has won straight, they have won 17, or I think, sorry, I said 17, 14 games straight between last year and this year. They've won 14 straight games. All right. Anytime that they've gone to overtime, they're 8-0. So me personally, I'd have gave it a go. What's the worst thing that happens? You lose. All right. I think a lot of people play for the tie, send it to overtime. I mean, it's a good idea too, I guess. Me personally, knowing their record, I would have tried to go for 2 and see what I could do.
The only reason why I might have would have went for 2 is because I don't know what it was this week and last week. There's been so many missed extra points. It's been crazy how many missed extra points there's been. But I agree with John Paul. Like, I wouldn't have cared if they would have went for 2 and didn't get it. They're down 2 of their best players on the offense. Like, what's the worst case? And Otten, I had a 9% chance of winning fantasy this week, and Otten got me like 20-something points to win. So thank you for that. But at the end of the day, Tampa's defense didn't do bad. It's not like it was like Tampa's defense did terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Mahomes looked like himself again. That's just flat out what it came down to.
He looked like banged up.
Yeah, but I'm saying he had almost. I think he almost had 300 yards.
You know what though? As much as and I never had a problem with Patrick Mahomes at all ever. I mean, granted, with the refs doing their thing, I don't know if something's gonna happen to that kid, man. His ankles are either very banged up, or I don't know. I mean, this is the second time he's hurt this ankle. I mean, he hurt his other ankle last year. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if it's.
You know what it is? What you just brought up. It's all about when your bye week is. That's how you know you're going to win. If your bye week's later in the season, you're going to probably go on a playoff run. I think some of these bye weeks and stuff, I think it's just all BS. It's either you play 17 games straight and don't do the overseas games, or you do. I think they should do 2 bye weeks because I don't think it's bad.
Even with the sorry to cut you off, buddy. Even with the bye week, they no longer do that where you get a week off. They make you play the next week now. They stopped doing that where you play in London, that you don't play next week. You still got to play next week.
But I'm saying I don't think that's fair because like some of the teams have early bye weeks, and some of the teams. Literally, I think somebody has a bye even next week or the week after, and it's almost the end of the season. So,
I think the Jets have a bye week 11. It's either week 11 or 12.
And Ravens have a 5-4 bye week as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair because you're going to heal that week, because that's when you go and win your playoff run. Literally. Yeah. I mean, listen, if the Ravens clinch the division or whoever clinches the division and they have a bye week late, you can start resting everybody. You don't need to play anybody. Okay. And just real quick about Mahomes, I mean, John Paul said everything perfectly. He looked good. Kelsey looked good. They look pretty good, and their defense is freaking phenomenal. That's it.
And the referees, like always, look phenomenal. They'll do a good job. right, guys, that time of night, man. It's time to do a pick. Unfortunately, our good buddy Tony's not here with us to do the honors, but the little brother is gonna do the honors. Tony, John Paul, do the honors, please. Who won last week and who lost?
All right. Well, we all had a phenomenal week. We actually did. I mean, granted, no matter win or lose this week, we all did unbelievable picking wise. But Tony takes it. He only lost one game.
Which game?
He did. He only lost the Houston game. He only lost Thursday night's game. Other than that, he won everything else.
I already took Carolina.
Yeah, he took Carolina. So I was the one idiot that took New Orleans. So, but yes. So the way it ended off this week was Tony had 14 wins. You and David had 13 wins, and myself had 12 wins. So we actually, I mean, I'm giving ourselves a pat on the back on that one. I don't care if I lost. That's a hell of a week for everybody. That's a
Now let's start the week 10, man. Week 10, we only got 8 weeks left of regular season football, man. Man, oh man, we almost here. All right, John Paul, let me know you ready. All right, first game, Thursday night football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals playing Baltimore Ravens. Big AFC North matchup. I gotta go with the Bengals. Bengals are in a must-win situation right now. They gotta win every game. They have no other choice.
I'm going Cincinnati too.
Why you gotta join me, buddy? Because y'all didn't join me last Thursday. I won.
Anytime we win, so shut up.
No, I won only last Thursday. 2 Thursdays before that, you guys lost.
See, I want to take Cincinnati so bad in this game. I want to take them so bad. And especially the way they played Baltimore the last time, too.
They won that game.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go. I got to go with Cincinnati as well.
Oh, we fucked. We all lose it. We all lose Thursday night football.
No, Tony's going to wind up choosing Baltimore, be the only one that wins.
Yeah. All right, guys. Now let's go overseas, man. I feel like the NFL hates Germany, man. This is such a bad matchup. This is horrendous. They got the New York Giants versus the Carolina Panthers. This game is so bad, I want to pluck my own eyeballs out.
This might be the first time ever in the show I might actually take the Giants.
I think I have to take the Giants in this game. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to take the New York Giants.
Carolina just traded some of their players, so they have nobody left now.
Yeah, give me unfortunately, it's like vinegar in my mouth right now. Give me the New York Giants. And somehow Seattle lost to the New York Giants. Don't know how.
So, David, you're taking the Giants as well?
Yeah. I don't understand why, but Carolina.
We have no other choice. Next up, we got the New England Patriots versus the Chicago Bears.
Bears have a bounce back. I'm going to take Chicago.
Yeah, give me Chicago, too.
Chicago.
This is good, right?
49ers in Tampa.
49ers in who?
49ers in Tampa Bay.
49ers are coming off a bye.
Yeah.
And McCaffrey's coming back.
Tampa just lost a heartbreaker. I can't see wanting to get up for the next week.
What happened?
What happened? You didn't know You didn't know Tampa lost to the Chiefs last week?
Oh, I thought you said something happened to McCaffrey. Give me the 49ers as well.
Roger.
Okay. Next up, the Broncos and the Chiefs, man. This game could go either way. Divisional games are very tough.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Give me Kansas City as well, because the Zebras always win. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. Please give me Buffalo.
I'm going to take Buffalo as well. I don't see the Colts doing anything good.
Allen's my boy.
You taking Buffalo?
Yeah, he lost to Buffalo.
Okay. All right, man, this is a big game. I don't know why this is not Sunday Night Football. This definitely should be a big game. We got Russell Wilson Steelers coming into town to play the hot Washington Commanders. Russell Wilson, you know how big a fan I am for you, brother. But I got to take Washington.
Steelers are going into Dallas to play the Washington Commanders?
No, Steelers are going to D.C. The Steelers are going to D.C. I still got to go with the D.C. I'm going to give me the Washington Commanders.
You're going to take Washington?
I want Pittsburgh.
I've been rolling with Washington all season.
You've been winning with Washington.
I know. I got to stay with Washington, I think.
Okay.
That's who I'm taking is Washington.
Minnesota versus Jacksonville. Please give me Minnesota.
Me too. Minnesota.
I want to take Jacksonville, but I'm going to take Minnesota.
Okay. Next up, Falcons versus the Saints.
Atlanta.
Honestly,
Atlanta.
I want to take the Saints. As weird as it, I really do, but I'm going to take the Falcons. I don't want to be that mush.
Give me Atlanta as well. ATL. Titans versus the Chargers. Please give me the Chargers.
Chargers, they're looking good right now. Their defense is looking really good.
Yeah, I agree.
They're I think they can beat the Chiefs.
Next game we got Tony, the jump on. Who you going, buddy?
I'm going with the Chargers.
Chargers.
Okay. Next up we got the New York Jets playing the Arizona Cardinals. This game could go either way. But the Jets need to keep on winning to go to playoffs.
I got to take the Jets this week. Arizona's favored by 1, but I don't know why. They're going somewhere hot, and Aaron Rodgers usually likes to play where it's warm. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
But if you notice, he usually loses in Arizona.
Yeah, but they usually win away. They don't usually win at home. So that's why
That's true.
Give me the Jets as well.
Wait,
definitely the key.
But real quick, that Bears game, is that in New England or is that in Chicago?
I think
That's
it's
in Chicago.
Want to know something crazy real quick? Is that they're 0-18 on the road, but that guy's the head coach. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Yep. Okay, thing, man. Next up, we got the Eagles.
Hold on, David. Who you taking the Jets to, David?
Watch your brother take the Cardinals and win that game. Next up, we got the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Eagles.
Philly.
Can Cooper Rush do a miracle? And they got no CD Lamb either. Fudge, man. So give me Philly, man. This is like, I hate myself.
He didn't look good against the Falcons, Cooper Rush. So
yeah, give me Philly. Next up, Sunday Night Football. Lions versus Texans. Give me Lions.
Detroit.
Give me the Texans.
Monday Night Football. Jalen Ramsey goes against his former team.
Rams.
The LA Rams. Give me Miami.
Yeah, dude. I gotta go Miami.
I'm also going Miami.
But the thing is, Puka might want to come out pissed off, but
yeah, but how healthy is he going to be? I mean, they took him out this past weweek.
No, he got ejected.
Yeah, he got ejected. I'm sorry, my bad. I apologize.
You are Adam's podcast. You know you said that.
I'm sorry, I fucked up. It happens. Listen, man, players fuck up too.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's see. We'll be back with another one. Hopefully, our brother Tony will be back with us, and hopefully, all our fans have a great weekend. Enjoy your football, man, and enjoy it because by the time you know it, it's the NFL's season to be over, and we'll be watching baseball again.